Welcome back to Terry's Lounge, folks. Only 3 more episodes to go. Wow. We are going to start this episode like we have every other. How many dad jokes can I tell in a minute? Followed by how many yo mama jokes can I tell in a minute? And then, yes, you guessed it. How many story jokes can I tell in a minute? Let's get started with the dad jokes, shall we? I told my Wi-Fi I needed space. It's been ignoring me ever since. My toaster has recently been giving me the cold shoulder. I guess it feels pretty crummy. I told my plants to stop photosynthesizing, but they will not leave me alone. Just remember, whenever you feel down, remember this. Earth's gravity is always trying to pull you back up. They say time flies. Does that mean that clocks are just really bad pilots? She gave me a book on anti-gravity and said it's impossible to put down. If the early bird gets the worm, does the late bird catch a cold? I tried to start a band called 1023 Megabytes, but we haven't got a gig yet. I told my mirror I was feeling ugly. All it did in response to that was reflect my feelings. Nice work on the dad jokes. Now for the yo mama jokes. Yo mama's so kind, she gives the best hugs, even when she's not there. Yo mama's so sweet, Sugar asks her for her recipe. Yo mama is so generous, she gave a cactus a hug and made it feel better. Yo mama's so smart and so wise, she doesn't need Google. She is Google. Yo mama's so strong, she can carry a whole team on her back. Literally. Yo mama's so cool, even ice cubes want to hang out with her. Yo mama's so organized that her socks always match perfectly by themselves. Yo mama is so beautiful even when she steps outside the sun needs to wear shades. Yo mama is so talented she can make a paper airplane into a luxury plane. Yo mama is so funny even her jokes have to ask her permission before being told. Nice work on the yo mama jokes. Now for the storytelling jokes. A man walks into a bar and sees a dog sitting on a stool. Not just any dog, he has a suit and a tie on and he's sitting there sipping water like any human being would at a bar. So the man walks up to the dog and gets the dog's attention and says, "Excuse me, can you talk?" The dog looks up at the man and says, "Yup." Stunned, the man says, "So, what's your story?" The dog says, "I used to be a secret agent. I outsmarted villains, I climbed trees, I had a license to bark, etc. Until one day, I got distracted by a squirrel. And that was it. They said I was no longer fit for duty." And the man said, "Let me get this straight. You're no longer a secret agent just because of a squirrel?" And the dog says, shrugs and goes, "Hey, we all have our weaknesses." Well, I hope you guys got a good kick out of those jokes. I know I did. It is now time for...
Hold up.
Greetings, Toiletarians! I am your host, Toilet Terry, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Terry. That's me, obviously. The discussion topic for this episode is the Great Thanksgiving Prep Panic. Here we are, the one holiday of the year where everyone is most stressed. The one holiday of the year where everyone claims they know what they're doing. We think we know what we're doing, but then we end up praying the oven just doesn't catch fire. And the shopping, oh boy. You think to yourself, okay, it's just a turkey, some stuffing, and a pie. Big deal, right? No big deal. But then you walk in the store and suddenly, first thing you see is like Mission Impossible. Everyone jostling around, trying to avoid getting hit by carts. And then you see that one person who's walking around shopping like they're stocking up for winter. You just know they're stocking up for winter. And they pretend to ignore all the chaos around them. So then you go to the meat section, and you're like, okay, 12-pound turkey, here I come. But then, boom, the only turkey left there is 25 pounds. You pick up that thing, you're like, this weighs more than my car payment. Great, now I'm committed to feeding an army, and I don't know how to cook this giant bird. And the timing? Oh boy, the timing. The timing is everything. If you've never witnessed somebody cooking Thanksgiving dinner like they're planning a military operation, you have not lived. Like my grandma, she starts planning 3 weeks in advance. 3 weeks. She puts the turkey in the oven at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I kid you not. I have never lived to see 3 a.m. in my waking hours. Well, that is unless I've stayed out too late. But even then, I'm questioning, is this a time of the day or just a concept? So yeah, turkey in the oven at 3 a.m. Starts making the mashed potatoes in the blender at 9 a.m. Has the table set by 1 p.m. And she's always like, make sure the napkins are folded just so, or you're not allowed at the table. But that's all not even where the real stress begins. No, no, no. The real stress begins when you try to coordinate oven space. You've already got the turkey in there, a pie baking in there, you got the rolls in there, and then that one cousin who's like, can I use the oven for a second to heat my casserole? And you're like, no, Karen, that's not a microwave. But then there's always that one person that shows up late, right? The hero of the day. Hero of the day. They show up at 4 p.m. They're like, oh, sorry, just got caught in some traffic. No big deal. I brought wine, after all. And you think to yourself, oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, this is going to do wonders for the mashed potatoes that are now ice cold and a turkey that looks like it was cooked in the desert. And then there's the classic timing issue. You know, when everything except for that one dish is ready? I mean, we got the cranberry sauce, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, but we're all waiting for that one magical side that's not ready yet. It'll be ready in 5 minutes. Turns into it'll be ready in 20 minutes. Sooner than later. And then by the time it finally gets to the table, we're all just so hungry we sit there and pretend like we're in a food coma. And we can't even taste the fact that the green beans are green. But hey, the bottom line is, no matter how chaotic the prep, Thanksgiving always ends up being great anyway. Although the turkey may be dry, mashed potatoes are lumpy, and someone will definitely end up spilling gravy. But hey, we're all family. We're here for tradition. And by tradition, I mean the pie. And by the end of the day, we can all bond over the fact that all of us are too full to be able to even move. But hey, at least we can blame that on the wine. So here's to Thanksgiving. Congratulations, you made it through the stress. And it was another successful year. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this discussion topic. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button for more upcoming content, which will be great. Y'all won't want to miss it. All right, keep it real. Peace out. Hold up. It is now time again for impressions. I will be doing 8 random impressions this time, starting right now. Brr, brr, brr. Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I won't do it again, okay? And then he slept with another woman. Yeah, totally not sinful at all. Hee-haw. Hee-haw, hee-haw. I'm totally not sad at all. Totally not lonely at all. My name's totally not Eeyore. I tell y'all, my name Eeyore. And people be like, no you isn't, no you ain't. For God so loved the world that he give his one only son, that whoever believeth in him shan't perish. They ain't gonna perish, but they have life. I totally is not a belcher. I is not a belcher. I ain't a belcher. Well, I hope you guys got a good kick out of those impressions. I know I did. It is now time for...
Hold up.
Greetings, Toiletarians! I'm your host, Toilet Terry, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Terry. That's me, obviously. The discussion topic for this episode is the Great Thanksgiving Day Prep Panic Part 2. So, you survived the shopping trauma, the turkey trauma, the oven gymnastics, and now everything that you have put a lot of work into prep for is about to be put in disarray by one thing. People. First off, there's the whole pre-meal, where's everyone going to sit debacle. Y'all know what I'm talking about, don't you? You're all trying to set the table, and no matter how many times Grandma has told everyone to stop helping, your aunt is always like, okay, all right, let's rearrange the seating chart one more time. Kids on this side of the table, adults on this side. Oh, and how about the grandparents go to the far end, where the dog is able to sit next to them for optimal food stealing. It's chaos. It's like an episode of The Bachelor, but with less romance and more mashed potatoes and turkey and stuffing and cranberry sauce and dressing and you name it. What comes next is the frantic timing of the food. You've already wrestled between too much food, not enough space in the oven, and the panic that some way the gravy will explode and no one will forgive you. And the rolls, they're in there. But don't forget that they're not ready yet when someone yells, "Is the turkey ready yet?" No, Aunt Barb, the turkey's not ready yet because it's taking longer to cook because it's 25 pounds. Might as well be a Thanksgiving hostage situation. The turkey's life is at stake and you're its caregiver. And then comes the inevitable meltdown, whereas everyone is either in the kitchen frantically preparing food or sitting in the living room being helpful by getting in the way. And we all realize one thing, the meal is never going to be perfect. No, the turkey is overcooked. Again. Somebody forgot to bring cranberry sauce. Again. And the mashed potatoes have somehow turned into a fluffy disaster. Again. But in true Thanksgiving spirit, we say nothing to each other about it. We just sit there at the table with each other, looking at each other sweaty and overcooked ourselves, and we say, well, it's fine. And by the time the mealtime finally rolls around, everyone is either on the verge of a meltdown or standing at the counter like, where are the rolls? And then the plates start coming out. The first plate starts coming out. Then the second plate comes out. Then the third. And by the time you're seated, everyone has their perfect plate. Except you, because you're still obsessing over how full or how empty the gravy boat is. But hey, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be good anyway. And then, of course, there's the pie. Yes, the one thing that goes perfectly on Thanksgiving Day, no matter what else. It doesn't matter if the turkey was burnt or the mashed potatoes were lumpy. The pie is a triumph. If you manage not to burn it, it's the highlight of the day. By the time you're eating the pie, it doesn't matter whether someone forgot the rolls in the oven or the mashed potatoes got buried under mountains of gravy. No, the pie is perfect. The pie is the highlight. The pie is the bomb diggity. And then comes the post-dinner meltdown, where everyone is trying to deny that they're full and somehow can still end up taking another slice of pie. You collapse on the couch, eyeing the leftovers like they're a gift from the gods. While everyone else you see is collapsing into the couch, resisting the urge to nap, trying to resist the urge to nap. And it's one thing has just become clear. It's never been clearer that Thanksgiving prep is an Olympic event and you have just earned your gold medal. But you know what? Despite the chaos and the calorie burns, there's just still something magical about it all. And we realize one thing, that the perfect meal is not the meal that was cooked perfectly, but it is rather the meal that is perfectly imperfect. And it's the one time of year where we all come together and we laugh over the fact that we didn't even know what we were doing half the time. But most importantly, we indulge in the one tradition that is like no other. Having one too many or even two too many slices of pie and then almost instantly regretting it later. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this discussion topic. We got a couple more Thanksgiving episodes coming up, which will be great. So, that being said, don't forget to click subscribe for more upcoming content. If you don't want to miss it, it'll be great. Anyway, keep it real, stay thankful, and peace out. Hold up. I wrote down random questions, and then I had my assistant, Teddy Tidwell, write down random words. 10 questions, 10 random words. I read the questions, he reads the words, and whatever the words are the answers. Let's get started, shall we? If you could teach any class on a random subject, what would the subject be? Fartology. If you could be a fly on a wall, whose wall would you be on? Yo mama. If animals could join the military, which would be the best general? Bill Clinton. If you woke up and found out you were invisible, what would you do? Your mom. If your life was a movie, what would be the title of your theme song? Shut the up. If you were a ghost, who would you haunt first? Big fat doo-doo head. What is the weirdest thing you ever thought was normal? Incest. What would you name a pet cactus? Doofus. If you could be any cartoon character, which would you be? Fat Stinky Rolls. What would happen if all the world's oceans turned to jello? Blubber bottom. Well, that's all we have time for, folks. I hope you guys got a kick out of that just as much as I did. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button for more upcoming content, which will be great. Y'all won't want to miss it. All right, keep it real. Peace out.